Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy first Friday of the month. We believe we are in 2025 already. Insane. But I'm super excited and super hopeful for the year we have ahead. And most importantly, how do I really want to break up the year into its four parts? If you have 12 months in a year, you can divide that by four and have 3 month increments for each month. And within 3 months, you have 12 weeks. Hence why I want to use this really, really helpful tool called the 12-week year. It is a great book. It's very helpful. And it's something that has helped me shape my goals and shape my intentionality and shape kind of the, if you want to say, game plan when you are trying to go for it into a new year. So, what better time to start than the very beginning of the very first quarter of the very first month of the year, correct? And I'm going to be looking down at my notes here just every so often. It's very brief. It's not going to take an entirely long time to go over this video. And like I said, one of my goals is to be more intentional with having more people join me during these live versions of the recorded Zoom calls that I'm having. And how to start the year off strong is the title of this current video here. So forgive me, I have a little bit of pregnancy brain. I'm a little bit tired. I got like 2 pillows and 3 blankets behind me, propping me up, just so I have some physical comfort while I'm delivering these little messages. So we're going to be using the 12-week year method when it comes to setting forth with your goals and your health plan and wellness plan for the year, because it's a good thing to have a resolution for the year. It's a good thing to have a year's goal, but more often than not, even within maybe the first 2 weeks of January, people start to fall off their goal. It's humanish here, especially if you don't have a plan in mind. And the longest sometimes people will run with a goal is maybe the first 2 months of the year. So we want to overcome that. We want to make sure that we actually come up on January 2026 next year and say, you know what? I actually reached the goals that I made last year. So let's do it again. Let's make new goals and let's run with it through the whole year. And this is a great way to help keep yourself intentional and accountable to your goals. So the methods in the 12 weeks here, I'm going to go over just a few of them. And I want to show you this chart because, when you're trying to change a behavior and you're trying to become more intentional with a new habit, there is usually about 5 stages people go through when they're changing their behavior. And it's illustrated on this page right here. You see that little J curve. When people start off, they have uninformed optimism, as in, okay, I have this goal. I'm really excited about it. I'm really gung ho. It's the first week of the year. Let's get it, let's do it. And then you get to the informed pessimism, the second part of that, and you kind of start to dip a little bit in being intentional because reality hits like, okay, I actually have to change some habits. I have to change a few ways that I do things. And sometimes some pessimism steps in because by nature, for the most part, unless you train your brain otherwise, humans are primarily a negative minded kind of being. If it's not immediate, instant gratification for something, that's what keeps people from the long-term goal. If they don't have an immediate success in something or don't see immediate results, they can more often than not fall off and go by the wayside. And then, look in the rearview mirror and there's the goal back in the good old days of a week ago, and it's nowhere to be found in their present. So you have to kind of fight that pessimism and go through the process. And the third process dips way down, as you can see where my finger is right here. They call that the valley of despair, where you're absolutely like, I'm changing what I'm doing. Things aren't looking all that different all that quickly. I have some adversity. Maybe I have some mindset issues. Maybe I have a few of my own objections I have to overcome. Like if you want to improve your health, but you can't see a placing that into your financial plan for each month, you might start to like panic at this point and you'll be in complete despair. But I have good news. If you can push through this dip, this lowest point, this valley, you start to come up and reach the opposite side of the pessimistic, informed pessimism to informed optimism. I'm like, all right, I made it through the worst part. I am now well on my way to becoming more successful in this endeavor. I am more informed. I've learned from my mistakes. I've failed forward a few times. Now I'm being more optimistic. Now I feel like I can actually do this. And then beyond that, you reach the other side of the curve and you are in the success and fulfillment stage of this whole goal. And that is something that will, once you go up and then down and all the way back up again, even higher because you've made it, you'll understand that, these new goals, these new things that I want to endeavor on are completely doable. I can manage it. I can overcome adversity. I can overcome my own objections. I ate right before this, so pardon me. Pregnancy and digestion is not the kind of part. Once you've gotten through that point, you can be willing to say, okay, well, that area of my life, I'm going to maintain this. What other areas can I work on in my life in this same kind of degree? And it's like a repeating cycle of ever increasing your own status in life, in your health, in your wellness, in your finance, in anything, as long as you keep following these steps for every new goal that you have. And it's okay to take one at a time and have little individual parts. That's another reason why on my whiteboard behind this screen here, I have goals for today, goals for this week, goals for the month, and goals for the first quarter, which is January to March, the first 3 months, the first 12 weeks, if you will. So, on that note, I would say, when you have the 12 weeks, yeah, can't speak. When you have the 12-week year instead of having a 12-month year, you have a 12-month year, you have 12 full months. Sometimes you can say, well, I got time, I got time, I got time. And then December rolls around, you're like, oh, shoot, I had the time, but I didn't use the time. I kind of let the time slide, and my goal was still not met. But when you have just a 12-week year, it shortens the time period between start and finish, and you kind of can see your goal better in the horizon. It's closer by. So, therefore, every week matters, and you have an emotional connection to every stage in this goal. And it allows you to become more intentional every day because your due date, or when you're supposed to be finished by, is much closer than it would have been had you given yourself the entire calendar year. You're less likely to fall off track. You're less likely to let it go because that's coming up much closer than it normally would have. Like last year when I said I was going to get my health in check, and then I kind of let that go because all the Valentine's Day candies, or maybe all like the Easter chocolates, or whatever it could have been. It doesn't have to be because of a chocolate, but that is just an example. And when we talk about making goals, making a plan, being intentional about this plan, having some accountability, sharing your goals. Okay, tell like 3 of your closest friends, and maybe your mother, maybe your father, tell your grandmother, tell your brother, tell your cousins, tell your sisters, tell people in your life, okay, I'm going to work on this. And if I don't get anywhere close to this, feel free to say, hey, how's that going? Oh, I didn't work on it. Or you can say, actually, it's going great. Here's my update. So, which would you rather be in? Which category? Would you rather be in the, oh crap, I forgot to work on that? Or I told a bunch of people, now I'm beholden to this goal. So, having accountability practice is very beneficial. And also having SMART goals. If you ever heard of that acronym, SMART, SMART goals, which is they're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're relevant, and they're timely. And all 5 of these points, especially the timely, works well with the 12-week yearbook. And that is something that I found very, very beneficial when starting off. for the new year. And not only when I'm getting started for myself, but one of my goals is to be intentional in helping other people to reach their goals and leaning into leadership and how I can serve others well. So those two things combined with my love of gut health and wellness and all sorts of different things that are related to our own physical body. What good does it do if I know all these things and I can sit here and I can talk about it till I'm blue in the face, but if I'm not helping anybody with it, what good is that information in the first place? You know? So, we usually like to get started very simply when it comes to goals. So, if I'm going to be specific and use our gut health routine, I would like to always start people very, very simply, especially since they're probably introducing a natural alternative to their body for the very first time. So with that, we would start with the very simple triplex system, which is our simple gut health system that has our products Slim Probio 5 and BioCleanse. Very simple. It's it doesn't take a whole lot of effort to stay consistent with three simple products. It doesn't break the bank to have just these three simple products delivered to your house each month. And I would always say, when you're starting off simply with just these three products, there are people with other goals. We could talk about that. Like I started off with three sort of different products, but I was mainly focused in the fitness realm, and I had already been dealing with eating better and just needed something for more energy, more protein, more vitamins. So I used our Slim Active and our Lean products, and that three was a great start, but I quickly shifted into using our triplex system on top of the active and the lean because of the benefits that I wasn't aware that I wasn't giving my body from the start. Yeah, I got really lean, I got really ripped, got really into the full fitness thing. I could do push ups, jump squats, and all sorts of fun things, but I wasn't addressing the root cause. And then when I did finally, that's when my body started to really change and really um, kind of run in sync with working on the physical health. My internal health got better and my mental health got better. So that's why I do say primarily I would like to start people off with the core gut health system, at least in their first 3 months before we revisit adding on or substituting other products. And it's very beneficial. And on top of having this system, we also have another activity and nutritional program called Pivotal that is free to all product users. All you have to do is keep buying your monthly products. And ironically enough, because the first quarter or like a quarterly year or like a 12-week year kind of format is so effective. This Pivotal program gives you 12 weeks worth of workouts, 12 weeks worth of nutritional ideas. Everything just kind of fits so smoothly together. It is so very cool. I like how they plan this all out. It is in you know ingeniously designed to benefit us and help us along the way with our goals. And we don't have to feel like we're doing it alone because we are part of a greater community. So once I bring people in, I introduce them to our little communities where we have different times where we do the 3-day resets. Right now, I can't do a reset because I'm pregnant, and I probably won't do that until my son is like on baby food and stuff like that, beyond the really, really early newborn stages. But there's nothing stopping you from getting involved because we have such a wonderful community for that. And we have a huge community in comparison, like in conjunction to that. We call it the One Plexus community. It's fantastic. It's so uplifting. And even when I went to like conventions, this is a quick side story, and I was on crutches because I just had knee surgery 6 weeks prior, our products helped me heal fast enough that I drove myself on crutches all the way from New York to Ohio in one night. And I was able to meet some amazing people. And in the bathroom, even people who were like really high up in the company, just like TMI being in the bathroom, but they were so kind, so gracious to me. They didn't know me from Adam, but because of how the community is within our company, you will always feel welcome. You'll always have someone to lean on. You'll always have someone to get information from. And there will always be something fun and interesting and exciting going on within the community. And I think a lot of people are missing that, especially after what our world went through between like 2020, 2021, 2022, and even a little bit of 2023. Some people are still kind of mentally healing from that. So that's why I want to bring so many people into this, because this isn't just for me. This isn't just for people who think the exact same way that I do. You know, there's a vast multitude of different personalities that you will meet among this community, and it's a really, really beautiful thing. And I'd love to tell you more about it as time progresses and goes on. And I got myself Zoom Pro, so I'll be able to have even more meetings and have even more opportunities for people to join me. Yay. And I do it not for myself, because I could just sit here, chill, and put a pillow under my giant pregnant belly and just lay there and watch TV and just know things. Or I could use my knowledge to uplift and inspire and empower other people to reach the goals that matter to them. And we have a really, really in-depth onboarding process for new people getting started, so you can get off to a strong start in your products. And also, if you want to earn another paycheck along the way without rationing out too much extra time, we have a wonderful process for that. And it's very, very simple, and it's very, very doable. All you need to do is you need to be very intentional, and you need to really want to lean into it for yourself. You have to do it for yourself. Don't do it for me. I'm just here to introduce. So before I conclude too much after this little event that we have here, the other book that I am in reference to in this call is Good Leaders Ask Great Questions by one of my favorite authors, John Maxwell. He is incredible. I have learned a lot of things. I have several of his books. The three main questions that I wanted to put in this video for you to think on for yourself are, you can use this for any problem you have that needs a solution. So if your health's a problem and you need a solution for it, or if your mental health is kind of wishy-washy and you need a solution for it, or you have trouble covering all your bills each month and you need a solution for it. It's very simple. You can insert anything into the problem and solution pieces of the puzzle. So the three simple questions are, why do we have this problem? Okay, that goes along with where the problem stems from, where it comes from, what is the causation of it. And when you insert anything into this, you're going to have different answers, but it gives you something profound to think about. And we always grow more when we have more profound questions. We have more to go off of. And then the next question on this is, how do we solve this problem? So that goes from, why is it here, to how do we solve it? And then to get even more specific, because your goals really do need to be specific, as I mentioned in the SMART goals kind of acronym. The first letter S is specific, and specifications on your goals help you to determine how to get there quicker, especially if you ask yourself good questions. So, what specific steps must you take to solve the problem? Now, you can have it all written out. You can have it on your wall. Like, I have this goal over my head to reach a certain ranking by July 31st in order to get, a certain set of things out of it. And that goal's been on my wall for some time because I hadn't really been intentional, because I really had given myself specific reasons to go for it. But now I do. I have to make a really good life for my child. And I have to use everything that I've learned, otherwise it's for naught, into helping other people, because it feels so very powerful and impactful to be able to pour into other people. And I feel like it's very important to lend your time and your energy to other people, because community is what makes the world go round. You really are a stronger person when you feel strong in your community. So when you have specific steps on how to solve the problem, you are more likely to solve the problem instead of, okay, so my goal is to have more money at the end of the year. Why do we have this problem? Because I don't have enough money for everything that I need to cover. That is why there's a problem. The problem is needing more money. This is just an example to go off of. Okay, so how do we solve the problem? Well, you can collect jobs. You can have a primary job, a secondary job, a tertiary job, or you can lean into leadership where you can not only add to your paycheck, but learn how to pour into others and teach them to do as you do. And therefore, you're not just adding into your paycheck, you're multiplying. And multiplication, 7 times 7 is a much greater number than 7 plus 7, is it not? So, what specific steps do you take to solve this problem? So, if the problem is needing more money, what specific steps do you need to do? You need to obviously work harder. You need to obviously do the necessary tasks that it takes. And it's very simple here. You just um, work on your gut health and help other people with their gut health. And if they have a need for making more money as well, like so many of us do after number 46 was in office, and that didn't go very well. For the economy, and especially for people when they go to the grocery store or the gas station, oh boy, right? It really took a toll on a lot of people. So your specific steps are to fill in those gaps that we all had created by the world at large, or everyone got paid the same, but prices of everything went up. So what if you can make more without giving up too much more of your time? And you have like a family to take care of, you don't have to lose too much time with them. While you can also show them that leadership makes the world go round, you be the leader in your household by taking charge, and you can actually learn more things about yourself along the way too, which is really cool. So good questions can inform, but great questions can transform. When you have really great questions, like these 3 questions, your brain starts to work on things like, okay, I need specific steps. What do I got to do? Okay, I got to do this, and then I have to do this, and it like helps you transform how you'll proceed in the future. And I think that's fantastic. So questions usually unlock and open doors that otherwise can remain closed. So if you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't ask, is there another way? You'll probably not find another way. You'll probably just subscribe to another billable hour jail where you have to give up more of your time, and then you have to give up even more of your time, and then you have to give up even more of your time just because you're always off working here, or you're off working there, or you're off working here. But what if there was a way for you to give yourself a raise along the way? What if there was a way you can actually grow as a person as you grow your paycheck, as you help other people, as you also work on your health and wellness goals, as you also get more physically active with our pivotal program, as you also learn to eat better and more nutritious foods along the way, also because of pivotal, also because you're working on your gut health and you don't crave that same crap no more. How cool is that? How freaking cool is that? So, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to have a quick little chat discussion, and we're going to have more of these as time goes on. Let me check my notebook here. My little notebook says next week we're going to talk about blood sugar and insulin resistance. So, even if you're not a diabetic, worrying about your blood sugar and the insulin in your body is very, very crucial and key. And I touched a little bit on this on my last uh, little Zoom call when I was talking about women's health, because blood sugar and insulin are really closely related to managing female hormones and whatnot. But now it's going to be more in depth talking about these things. So, to anyone who joined me live, thank you very much for sitting with me. And to anyone who's watching the recording afterward, I also appreciate your time and your patience with me as I'm learning to lead these calls without um, them being completely wild in the brain, because it does drive me crazy. I want to do a good job. Also, I need to be more intentional about inviting people to join me to the live version so we can do questions after the recording has stopped. So, as for today, I'm still just recording this to myself, and I'm putting it up on YouTube so you can watch the recording afterward. And I hope to see you on the next one. So goodbye for now, friends. I hope you have a wonderful day.